Oh, we're on. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Cameron Hughes checking in for this Friday, this funky Friday. Hope everyone is great wherever you are in the world. Speaking of which, please tell me where you are in the world if you're watching this, if you're seeing this, and maybe how we met, how you came across me. I love that. You know why? Because it's all about connecting, and connecting with people around the world is such a gift. So thank you all for following along, saying hi. This, by the way, it's my lucky disco ball. I got it in Toronto when I used to live in Toronto, and then I drove to LA. I think it was this crazy road trip in 2005. I decided to leave it all and go down to LA to see if I can make it. And this disco ball has been with me the whole way. So everyone needs a lucky disco ball, especially, in my world. So the other day I did a Facebook Live. Hadn't done one in a long time and had a lot of great feedback, had a lot of great interactions with people. And it's been in me last few days of like that connection, how we all need that connection, that cheer, that support, that hello in life in general. And then a lot of people also ask me some questions. So I thought today what I'd do is say hi, share a few stories, answer some of the questions, and spread some cheer. Are you with me? Are you with me? I hope so. So Cameron Hughes, I started off my career. One of the first questions I got was, how did this all start? Like all of us, I think that when you look at your life, you realize how much you connect the dots, like where you are now. If you take a minute or two in your day and go, how did I end up here? You realize a lot of the things you did connected the dots and they were meant to happen. I was at an Ottawa Senators hockey game. Where's the Sens? Sens right here, jersey right here. And I was at the game. Nobody was cheering. I got up with 8 minutes to go. I was completely sober. I swear on my life. My buddy that got me the tickets is like, please, whatever you're going to do, don't do it. And I got up and I started to dance. And everyone around me is like, oh my God, what's he doing? Is he really doing this? Should we call the police or the paramedics? So I just kept dancing. I was like, what am I doing? And then the crowd started to go wild. And then the rest of the stadium. And then next thing you know, there's a buzz in the arena. I sit back down on my seat. My buddy Elliot, he's long gone. We haven't talked in 29 years. I'm joking. And there was this buzz. Like, that moment where you're at the wedding and Uncle Bill or Aunt Sally gets up and is like, okay, we got to do this. And My Sharona comes on and it changes the whole state. You're like, yes, someone did it. Someone put themselves out there. Well, that night I put myself out there at a whole new level and the crowd cheered me on. And that's my message in life is like, as challenging as it is sometimes to put yourself out there, when you do, your crowd will cheer you on. Because what happened next is the reason I've had this accidental career performing at over 1,600 events. The next whistle blows, the DJ plays a big dance song, everybody dance now. I get up from my seat and the crowd's like, oh my God, what's he doing? And I shimmy over to the aisle and I start dancing up and down the aisle now. I left my seat. Had I just stayed in my seat, I'm not sure what would have happened. So I start dancing up and down the aisle. The crowd's going nuts. 10,000 people cheering, going absolutely insane. They were just rewarding me for being that guy that took the chance and said, let's go for it. And that's what it's about. I've been showing up, going for it for 29 years, 27 professionally. And let me tell you this, it's not always easy. But when you get up and when you get going, whatever that is, it's the best. That's how I got started. Wow, next question that from the Facebook Lives were, what are some of your favorite places to go to? Off the top of my head, the US Open Tennis in New York City, Arthur Ashe Stadium, it's New York City, 25,000 people. Speaking of which, New York City, MSG, to be able to take the subway up to Madison Square Garden and perform there. And then Ottawa, going back to my hometown. I mean, I love it. I love a lot of the minor league rinks I've been in. I've performed in 118 different minor league hockey rinks. Vegas, where's Vegas? Vegas is a really fun time. T-Mobile Arena, the fans, just lit. I love it. What do you do when this is a good one. This is a hard one. What do you do when you're not feeling it? What do any of us do? I mean, we want to hide, right? We want to just curl up in our couch and watch, binge watch a show. It's really challenging. Like you fly in and you get going and you're feeling it and then suddenly you're just not feeling it. I change my state. I go for a run. I get the energy going in the lower bowl of the arena. I put music on. I do some voice warm-ups. I drink some throat tea. Yep. And I try to visualize myself in the crowd, seeing them, feeling them, getting excited, being part of what I'm about to give them. And then I look for that victory, that first big victory that gets the adrenaline going. and it snowballs from there. Get those victories under your belt if you're not feeling it. What's one of the couple of the craziest moments you've ever had? I mean, for me, a couple of the craziest ones were probably being hospitalized too many times. Fell down the stairs once performing in front of 12,000 people, and they all thought it was a joke. That was legitimately crazy. Performing at the US Open center court with Novak Djokovic was crazy. It was all spontaneous, and that's the best part of my career. It's like, it's spontaneous, these things happen. And then one of the best parts, it's a video that's been shown on my Facebook, and it's had, I think it's about 70 million views of my friend Malcolm and I. I was performing at a rugby sevens. All these kids were behind me. I move out of the way. The kids stop, but this one kid just keeps going, and his name's Malcolm. At the time, he's 18 years old, and now he's been performing at the Vancouver Sevens, where it was, everyone talks about seeing Ace Ventura in the crowd. It was a dress-up party, and one of the best moments of my life. And Malcolm and I are still buddies, and he's a young boy with Down syndrome that has the most amazing spirit. So when moments like that happen, how grateful am I that I got up and I showed up and I gave it everything I had. What about your t-shirts? So Wild are playing tonight. Go Wild. I've got these t-shirts that I'm going to be selling soon. This one, and then even this one. Look at this one. Because everyone needs a cheer. You know what I mean? Everyone needs a cheer. Next question. You talk about your book and you're doing some giveaways. Yes, so I did some promo giveaways for my book. I've been working on this for my whole life, so to speak. When I would get on airplanes, I would write in a journal back in the day and just be short stories like, oh, I was in Corpus Christi, Texas. What happened that night? Oh, I was in Oklahoma City. What happened that night? And they're all short stories with a narrative of how my career started and ended. So if you want to grab my book, you can go to Amazon or you can go to my website, CameronHughes.tv. I can sign it, I can personalize it, I can send it as a gift to someone. CameronHughes.tv. Thank you for your support. On that note, I talked a bit about this. My audiobook where I record my voice. Check, check, 1, 2, check, check. And I have all the people, a bunch of people contributed their sort of anecdotes and stories, like my buddy Mike Kensit. It's rare to meet someone who mirrors oneself in the relentless pursuit of their dreams. When I met Cameron Hughes, I fell in love with his heart, his dreams, and his passion. He was the first person who I felt required a soundtrack for his day-to-day activities. So great to have people like Mike in your life. Speaking of people in your life, I look where I am, what I've done, the highs, the lows, this world that I've tried to create, this journey that I've been on, and I realize, that was my buddy Mike, and he's a great example of having people in your life that will cheer you on. When I look at sporting events right now, we're in the middle of the playoffs. Like, if your team is down, you cheer them on. If you know your friends need you, you cheer them on. So surround yourself with people that will cheer you on in life. And if there are people in your life that aren't cheering you on no matter what, checking in on you, you checking in on them, and raising you and lifting you and supporting you and encouraging you and being there, they're not meant to be in your life. It's that simple. And when I go to sport events, I cheer on people to let go, to let loose, to be part of something special. And I've been so fortunate to be part of so many events around the world, meet so many great people, and I'm just going to keep going until I can't walk anymore, I guess. So those are the updates from the little cheer headquarters here. We got some big games coming up. We got the Kings, Oilers tomorrow. Got the Wild tonight. Vegas just clinched the spot. Toronto Maple Leafs are playing in Game 6. Avalanche. And then I've got a couple of 100 other jerseys. This is a buddy of mine. It's good. This really nice friend of mine. I went away and he made this. Check this out. He goes, send me your favorite picture of you performing in Vegas. And I was like, what about this one? He comes back and he blows it up. So, but if you look at it, it's all about the smiles. So that's all I've ever wanted to do. Put a smile on your face, whether it's at a corporate speaking event, a leadership event, a minor league hockey game, an NHL game. It's all about sharing the smiles. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'm sending you a cheer. I'm sending you a hat. And I'm sending you my love. Big cheer, big smile. Have a beautiful Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. And lastly, if you need a cheer at anything, please send me a note. Tell me where you're from. Tell me how we met. Tell me what's up. and I'll get back to you. Keep spreading the cheer.